Hey guys, Josh here along with physical therapist Jessica Bento. What we're going to talk about today is how to combine some of your favorite fitness tools with the ultimate sandbag. Now DVRT could be a standalone program, but we're going to show you how to have synergy amongst the movements. So we're going to use our TRX today and show you how TRX feeds in the ultimate sandbag. Ultimate sandbag can help you with your TRX. So we're going to start today with what we call body saws. So Jessica's basically going to get an extended plank position. She's going to point her toes towards her, and what she's going to do is slowly slide her body back and then pull herself with her lats. Now the reason this is such a great exercise is because it teaches her whole body tension. It teaches her how to corkscrew into her shoulders, activate her lats, and use her lower body connect with her trunk and upper body all at once. And relax, Jessica. And what you're going to do is that gives you the foundation to doing more standing pressing drills, like we'll show you in a moment, more proficiently. Because if you understand how to develop force from the ground up and create tension in the underarm to stabilize the shoulder, you're going to have far more success than some of our DVRT drills. Okay, so now that we've done our bicep, when we go our clean and push press or clean and press, we're going to see that same synergy amongst her body. So she's going to get in that hinge position, one good clean to her fists, and what she's going to do is she's going to lock in her body, stabilize her trunk, and press over the crown of her head. So all those principles we just learned, tension from the ground, activity in the lower body, glutes being tight, bracing the core, activating the lat, is becoming really useful here and making sure she doesn't lose tension in the torso going into a lean or getting in a bad position, loading up her lower back. All right, so we're going to start with the TRX for another drill. I'm going to show you again how that leads into DVRT. So Jessica's going to do a hip bridge to body row. So she's going to get underneath the unit. She's got her feet set. She's going to push to the ground with her feet to extend her hips and then pull herself in between the handles. Slowly lower her hips and then repeat the process. So glute bridge, body row. We don't want to see any alteration to her spine. We don't want to see her leading with the ribs. We want to see her brace to the lower body and pulling herself and retracting the shoulders fully. What we're going to do in a moment is take you through a couple of our DVRT drills and show how the carryover takes place when you progress the movement. Okay, so we're going to show you some of our rowing variations from a more vertical position. Now, a lot of the reasons that people have problem in these positions is because they haven't spent time on some of the movements like we just showed you with the TRX, and that they don't understand how to use the glutes, how to apply force on the ground, and don't understand the proper movement of the shoulders. Being in a more vertical position like this is a little bit more challenging because we have to navigate gravity a little differently. So Jessica's going to deadlift our weight up first, and we're going to start from the bilateral position. So she's just going to hinge back upon her hips and just do a classic row. But this looks just like our bridge and row, right? Because we could do row and then we could do deadlift. And that's basically the same movement. Row and then deadlift, as we've just done. What we can do is we can challenge the movement by adding a little stepping action. So again, we're moving a little bit more to foundational gait patterns. So she can come down. She's in her sprinter stance. She's going to come down, row. She's going to deadlift up and step. Nice. And we can keep going with that motion, and what we can do is slowly progress the length of the step over time. So a little bit longer, and that challenges a little bit more anti-rotation and strength through the whole torso, hip, and upper body all at once. So again, we're starting you on something a little bit more foundational and building out the series right there. So again, a nice way of combination, because really the goal is to have synergy amongst your tools, not to just use different tools for the sake of variety. So the next one we're going to show you a little bit more advanced drill, how to put them together into one foundational exercise and challenging exercise all at the same time. So obviously, eventually we want to start combining elements of both. So what we're going to do is a couple of series, one a little more foundational, one a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to give Jessica a core USB right here. Now she's a little suspended. I like to have the strap pretty low to the ground when we're going laterally to start with. She's going to do a press out lateral squat. She's going to come down and then pull the weight in. So pressing the bag out helps her get in a more vertical position. Going out in the lateral squat loads up her hips, so the more suspended she is, the more load she has in this lateral hip, which actually helps her build more functional strength and stability in the hip. Let's see it one more time, Jess. Very nice. Now, what we can do to challenge it a little bit is go ahead and put in the shoulder. What she's going to do is a different type of thruster. A thruster is typically a squat and press. She's going to go laterally down in the squat. She's going to come up and arc press to the opposing side. So now what we have is a squat in a lateral motion. We'll do it again, Jess. And a lateral press. So she's working a lot of stabilizers as well as producing strength in the movement. In a moment, we're going to show you how we take one of our classic DVRT exercises and raise it another level using the TRX. All right, so now we're going to show you a little more challenging drills. One reason I start people in the lateral series is because when we go laterally, we have a little wider base support. Because we're suspended and balanced as it is, having a little wider base helps people get a little bit more confident. Now we're going to get a little more challenging base, so we're going to go directly back. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand Jessica the ultimate sandbag here, and we're going to use our max lunge. And we're just going to pattern one side, and we're going to see a nice, all those same principles. Nice vertical torso, good lunge. They're staying nice and tall and driving through that leg. So now she's suspended by the TRX, but moving the bag to the side also creates a little bit of instability. So she's doing a great job. So we can increase load, we can increase speed, but we can also change the placement of the bag up to her shoulder. Now we can just do shoulder lunges here because now we have an asymmetrical body position, asymmetrical load. Or we can go back to our thruster and use a very unusual type of thruster. We're going to go suspended, lunge to arc press. So now it's going to change depending upon what shoulder it's on because the hip has changed. So you can see this becomes a very metabolically demanding drill very fast, but you get to identify weaknesses as well. It's not just a circus trick, it's a progression upon some of our base movements combining TRX and ultimate sandbag training. That's why we showed you those lead up drills to show you how you can build up strength over time through different variations, and then you can start combining them in some pretty cool drills. So I hope you check out this series. Make sure to check out the blog that goes with it at dvrtfitness.com and come back for more.